The flashlight beam cut through absolute darkness. Marcus Chen had been a royal guard for 15 years. He'd walked every inch of Windsor Castle, every corridor, every room, every courtyard, or so he thought. The stone steps beneath his feet were slick with moisture. Cold air rose from below, carrying a smell he couldn't identify. Old paper, maybe, or something else. Something that made his skin prickle. He shouldn't be here. The maintenance report had been clear. Check the foundation integrity in the East Wing basement. Standard inspection. Nothing unusual, but the wall had been wrong. Marcus had noticed it immediately. The stones didn't match. They were newer, cleaner. Someone had sealed something up. Recently, his supervisor would be furious if he knew Marcus had pried away the loose mortar, had pulled back the stones, had found the doorway, but curiosity was a powerful thing. If you're loving this mystery, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't believe where this is going. The tunnel stretched ahead of him, narrow, barely wide enough for one person. The walls were carved stone, smooth in some places, rough in others. How had no one known about this? Marcus had studied the castle blueprints. He'd memorized them during training. There was no tunnel marked in this location. Nothing in any of the architectural records. Yet here it was. His radio crackled. Static, then a voice. "Chen, you copy? What's your location?" Marcus hesitated. His thumb hovered over the talk button. If he told them, they'd pull him out. They'd seal the tunnel back up. They'd probably reassign him for unauthorized exploration. But if he didn't tell them, and something happened, he released the button without responding. Just a bit further, just to see where it led. The tunnel sloped downward, deeper into the earth beneath the castle. Marcus's boots echoed off the stone, each step sounding too loud in the silence. Then he saw it. A door, not ancient. Not crumbling wood and rusted iron like you'd expect in a medieval tunnel. This door was modern, steel, the keypad lock that glowed faintly green in the darkness. Marcus stopped. His heart pounded in his chest. Someone had been using this tunnel recently. His hand moved to his radio again. This time, he was going to call it in. This was beyond his pay grade. This was something security needed. Tooth a keypad beeped. Marcus froze. He hadn't touched it. He was still 3 feet away, but the light had turned from green to red. Then back to green dot. Someone was on the other side. The lock clicked. The sound echoed through the tunnel like a gunshot. The door began to open. Marcus stepped back. His hand went to his belt. To the small canister of pepper spray that was his only weapon. Royal guards carried batons, not guns. Not inside the castle. Right now he wished desperately for a gun. The door swung wide. A figure stood in the doorway, backlit by fluorescent light from the room beyond. Tall, male, holding something in his hand. "Who the hell are you?" the man demanded. Marcus's flashlight beam caught the man's face. He recognized him immediately. Tom Parker Bowles, Camilla's son. But that wasn't what made Marcus's blood run cold. It was what Tom was holding. A stack of photographs. Even from where Marcus stood, he could see they were old, black and white, edges yellowed with age. And on the top photograph, clear as day in the flashlight beam, was Princess Diana.
"You need to leave,"
Tom said. His voice was tight, controlled. "Right now." "What is this place?" Marcus heard himself ask. "What are you doing down here?" Tom's jaw clenched. "That's not your concern." "Everything in this castle is my concern?" "Not this," Tom said. He stepped forward, into the tunnel. The door began to swing shut behind him. "This is family business." Marcus saw more in that brief moment before the door closed. A room, tables, more photographs scattered across surfaces, documents, a computer screen glowing in the corner. What family business requires a secret tunnel? Marcus asked. His training kicked in. Keep them talking. Assess the threat. Look for exits. It's a kind that's none of yours, Tom replied. How did you even find this? Routine inspection. The wall was supposed to hold for another 10 years, Tom muttered. more to himself than to Marcus. They said the mortar would hold. They. Who was they? Tom seemed to realize he'd said too much. His expression hardened. You can't tell anyone about this. Do you understand? I'm security. I have to report you don't understand what you've stumbled into, Tom interrupted. His voice dropped, became almost pleading. Please, just walk away. Forget you saw this. Forget the tunnel exists. I can't do that. Tom's hand tightened on the photographs. My mother can't know about this. She can never know. Know about what? For a long moment, Tom just stared at him. The silence stretched. Somewhere in the distance, water dripped, the sound echoing endlessly through the stone. The truth, Tom said finally. About what really happened the night Diana died. The words hung in the air between them. Marcus felt his world tilt. What are you talking about? Tom looked back at the closed door, then at Marcus, then at the photographs in his hand. When he spoke again, his voice shook. My mother's been living a lie for 27 years, and I just found proof. Asterisk. Marcus's mouth went dry. You need to explain that, he said. Right now. Tom looked at the photographs again. His hands trembled slightly. I can't. Not here. Not like this. You just said you found proof about Princess Diana's death. You don't get to walk that back. Shouldn't have said anything. Tom moved toward him. You need to go, please, before someone else comes. Someone else? Marcus's guard training kicked into high alert. Who else knows about this tunnel? Tom didn't answer, but his eyes flickered back to the sealed door that told Marcus everything. How many people? Marcus demanded. Enough, Tom said quietly. Enough that if they find you here, we'll both have a problem. The radio on Marcus's belt crackled again. Chen, respond. We're getting worried. Your tracker shows you in the basement, but we can't pinpoint exact location. Marcus had forgotten about the GPS chip in his radio. They knew generally where he was. If they started searching, Tom heard it too. They're coming. You need to tell them you got turned around, that you're on your way back up. Not until you tell me what's going on. There's no time. Make time, Marcus said. His voice hardened. Or I call this in right now. Secret tunnel. Camilla's son. Documents about Diana. Let's see how that plays out. Tom's face went pale. You don't understand what you're threatening. Then help me understand. For a moment, Marcus thought Tom would refuse, would push past him and disappear back into that room. Sealed the door. Leave Marcus standing in a tunnel that officially didn't exist. Instead, Tom did something unexpected. He laughed. A short, bitter sound. My father was a drunk, Tom said. Did you know that? Before he died, he'd drink himself stupid every night. And when he drank, he talked. Marcus waited. He told me stories, Tom continued. About the old days. About his friendship with the royals. About things he knew. Things he'd been paid to keep quiet about. What things? Tom held up the photographs. In 1997, my father worked as a consultant for a private security firm. They handled sensitive situations for wealthy clients, royals, politicians, people who needed problems to disappear quietly. Marcus's skin prickled. What are you saying? I'm saying that 3 weeks before Diana died, my father was paid £50,000, cash, by someone in the palace. He wouldn't tell me who, but he kept records. He kept everything. The tunnel suddenly felt smaller, colder. You're suggesting I'm not suggesting anything, Tom. Cut him off. I'm telling you what I found in my father's things. After he died, documents, photographs, recordings, all hidden in a storage unit I didn't even know he had. Recordings of what? Tom's jaw worked. Conversations. Phone calls. He recorded everything. It was insurance, he said, in case anyone ever tried to silence him. In these recordings. Marcus couldn't finish the question. They mention her, Tom said softly. They mention Diana. They mention Paris. They mention the problem that needed to be handled. 3 weeks before the crash, the words landed like stones in dark water. Marcus felt sick. That doesn't prove there's more, Tom interrupted. The tunnel we're standing in? It was built in 1996. During renovations, it's not on any official blueprints because it was commissioned privately by someone who wanted a way to move through the castle unseen.
Are you?
Tom shook his head. I don't know yet. The construction records were destroyed, but the payment trail leads back to a private account, one that was closed in 1998, right after Diana died. Marcus's mind raced. Why are you telling me this? If this is true, if any of this is real, you should go to the police, the press, someone. And destroy my mother? Tom's voice cracked. She knew nothing about this. She loved Charles. She grieved him. If this comes out, everyone will assume she was involved. That she knew. That she wanted Diana dead. Did she? The question hung between them. Tom's eyes filled with tears. No. God, no. My mother is many things, but she's not a murderer. She's not a conspirator. She's just a woman who fell in love with the wrong man at the wrong time. Then why hide this? Because the truth doesn't matter? Tom's voice echoed off the stone walls. The truth is that my mother probably had nothing to do with any of this. But if these documents go public, no one will believe that. They'll crucify her, again, like they've done for 30 years. Marcus heard footsteps above them. Boots on stone. His colleagues searching for him. We're out of time, Tom said urgently. You need to go. Tell them you got lost. Tell them anything. But you cannot mention this tunnel. Not yet? Not yet? Marcus caught the phrase. What does that mean? Tom looked back at the sealed door. It means I'm still gathering evidence. Still trying to understand what really happened. And when I have everything, when I know the full truth, I'll decide what to do with it. That's not your decision to make. It's my father's legacy, Tom said fiercely. My mother's reputation. My family's future. It absolutely is my decision. The footsteps were getting closer. Tom grabbed Marcus's arm. I'm asking you as one human being to another, give me 2 weeks. Let me finish this investigation. Then we can decide together what to do. 2 weeks to what? Destroy evidence? 2 weeks to understand it, Tom corrected. To find out who really was responsible. To separate truth from conspiracy theory. To protect innocent people from being destroyed by something they had nothing to do with. Marcus's radio crackled. Chen, respond immediately, or we're calling emergency protocols. Tom's grip tightened. Please. Marcus looked at the photographs in Tom's hand. At the fear in his eyes, at the door behind him hiding, God knew what. He thought about Camilla, about the woman he'd seen at state dinners, at ceremonies, always dignified, always trying so hard. He thought about Diana, about 2 princes who lost their mother, about conspiracy theories that had haunted a nation for nearly 3 decades. He made a decision that would change everything. 2 weeks, Marcus said, but I'm coming back. Tomorrow night? And you're going to show me everything? Tom nodded. Relief flooded his face. Thank you. Don't thank me yet, Marcus said. If I think for 1 second you're covering up a murder, I'll burn this whole thing down. I don't care who gets hurt. Fair enough. Marcus turned to leave, then stopped. One more thing. Tom waited. Who else knows about this tunnel? Tom's face went carefully blank. Just me. He was lying. Marcus could tell, but there was no time to push. The footsteps were almost upon them. Marcus ran. Marcus emerged from behind a stack of storage crates just as 2 guards rounded the corner.
Oh, there you are.
Davis, the senior guard, looked furious. Where the hell have you been? We've been calling for 20 minutes. Marcus forced his breathing to steady. Sorry. Radio must have malfunctioned. I was checking the foundation cracks in the storage area. Lost track of time. Davis studied him. Marcus kept his face neutral. Bored even. Just another routine inspection. You look pale, Davis observed. Dusty down here. Probably breathed in too much debris. Davis didn't look convinced, but he nodded. Finish your shift upstairs. We'll handle the basement. Marcus didn't argue. He walked past them, kept his pace normal, not too fast, not too slow. His heart hammered against his ribs. Behind him, he heard the guards moving through the basement, their flashlights sweeping across walls, checking every corner. Would they find the tunnel entrance? Tom said he'd reseal it, but there hadn't been time. Marcus had left him standing there with those photographs. With that locked door, if they found it, Marcus climbed the stairs, emerged into the main castle corridor. Tourists moved past him, cameras flashing, voices echoing off ancient stone. Normal life. Continuing while secrets festered below, he needed to think, to process what Tom had told him, to decide if he'd made the right choice. 2 weeks. He'd given Tom 2 weeks. What if that was a mistake? His phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Thank you. Tomorrow night, midnight. Same entrance. Come alone. Marcus deleted the message immediately. He made it through the rest of his shift on autopilot, checked doors, monitored cameras, responded to tourist questions with practiced politeness, but his mind was elsewhere. Replaying the conversation, the photographs, Tom's words, the truth about what really happened the night Diana died. Marcus had been 15 when Diana died. He remembered watching the news with his mother, remembered her crying, remembered the flowers piled outside the palace, mountains of them, a nation's grief made visible, and now, 27 years later, someone was saying it might not have been an accident, that it might have been planned by people in the palace. His phone buzzed again. This time a call. His supervisor, Chen, my office. Now, Marcus's stomach dropped. They knew. Somehow they knew. He walked to the administrative wing, knocked on Supervisor Morrison's door. Come in. Morrison sat behind his desk. 60 years old, steel gray hair, eyes that missed nothing. He'd been with royal security for 40 years. He'd protected 3 generations of royals. Sit, Morrison said. Marcus sat. Morrison leaned back in his chair. Studied Marcus for a long moment. Davis tells me you went dark for 20 minutes today. Radio malfunction. Don't. Morrison's voice was quiet, but it cut like a blade. Don't lie to me, Chen. I've been doing this job since before you were born. I know when someone's lying. Marcus said nothing. You found something, Morrison continued. In the basement. Something that scared you. I can see it in your eyes. Still, Marcus stayed silent. Morrison sighed, opened his desk drawer, pulled out a folder, old, worn. He set it on the desk between them. I'm going to tell you a story, Morrison said, and you're going to listen very carefully. He opened the folder. Inside were photographs. Black and white, dated 1996. In 1996, I was assigned to oversee a construction project. A private renovation commissioned by someone high up. Someone with enough power that I didn't ask questions. Marcus's pulse quickened. They built a tunnel, Morrison said. Under the east wing, said it was for security purposes. Emergency evacuation route. I believed them. Or I wanted to believe them. He pulled out another photograph. The tunnel. The same tunnel Marcus had found. After Diana died, I started having doubts. Started wondering why we needed a secret tunnel. Why it wasn't on any official blueprints. Why everyone who knew about it was suddenly a myth, transferred or retired or disappeared. Hands trembled slightly as he set down the photograph. I tried to investigate. Quietly, I found some things. Not much. But enough to know that something wasn't right. What did you find? Marcus asked. Morrison looked at him. Really looked at him. Enough to know that asking more questions would get me killed. The words hung in the air, so I stopped asking, Morrison continued. I sealed away what I found. Told myself it was none of my business. That the royals had their secrets, and I had my job. And I kept my mouth shut for 27 years. He pushed the folder across the desk to Marcus. Now you found the tunnel, and you're about to make the same choice I did. Keep digging or walk away. Marcus stared at the folder. Why are you telling me this? Because I'm 60 years old, Morrison said, and I'm dying. Cancer. 6 months. Maybe less. And I'm tired of carrying this weight. His eyes were wet. I was a coward, Chen. I chose my career over the truth. I chose my safety over justice. And it's eaten at me every single day since. Morrison stood, walked to the window, looked out at the castle grounds. If you're going to dig into this, you need to understand what you're up against. These aren't ordinary secrets. These are the kind of secrets that powerful people kill to protect. Do you think Diana was murdered? Marcus asked bluntly. Morrison didn't turn around. I think a lot of people wanted her gone. I think she was making powerful enemies. I think her death was very convenient for a lot of very important people. That's not an answer. It's the only answer I can give you without lying, Morrison said. He turned back. What I can tell you is this. If you pursue this, do it carefully. Trust no one. Document everything, and assume everyone is watching. Marcus picked up the folder, felt the weight of it. There's a name in there, Morrison said. At the bottom, under the photograph of the construction crew, one name is circled. Marcus flipped through the photographs until he found it. The construction crew, 12 men in hard hats, standing in front of the tunnel entrance, one name circled in red ink. Marcus's blood turned to ice. Andrew Parker Bowles, Tom's father. He was the project supervisor, Morrison said quietly. He coordinated the entire construction. He knew every inch of that tunnel, every secret it held. Marcus looked up. Tom said his father worked in security. Tom doesn't know the half of it, Morrison interrupted. His father wasn't just security. He was a fixer, the kind of man you call when you need something done quietly, something that can never see the light of day. And you think he was involved in Diana's death? Morrison shrugged. I think he knew something. I think that's why he drank himself to death. Guilt does strange things to a man. Marcus's mind raced. Tom said he found his father's documents, his recordings, his proof. But what if Tom didn't understand what he'd really found? What if he thought he was protecting his mother, but he was actually protecting murderers? What do I do? Marcus asked. Morrison smiled sadly. What I should have done 27 years ago, find the truth, no matter where it leads, no matter who it destroys. He picked up a pen, wrote something on a piece of paper, handed it to Marcus. This is a phone number. A journalist. She's been investigating royal conspiracies for a decade. No one takes her seriously. But she's thorough. And she's brave. If things go wrong, if you need someone to tell the story, call her. Marcus pocketed the number. One more thing, Morrison said. Tom Parker Bowles. You've met him, haven't you? Marcus hesitated, then nodded. Be careful with him, Morrison warned. He may think he's looking for truth, but family loyalty is a powerful thing. When push comes to shove, he'll protect his mother, no matter what the cost. Marcus stood to leave. Chen, Morrison called. Whatever you find in that tunnel, it's going to change everything. Your life, the monarchy, the country. Are you ready for that? Marcus thought about Diana, about 2 princes who'd lost their mother, about a nation that had grieved for decades. No, he said honestly, but I'm doing it anyway. Morrison nodded. Then God help you. And God help us all. Midnight came slowly. Marcus spent the day reviewing Morrison's folder, studying photographs, reading cryptic notes written in margins, trying to piece together a puzzle that had been deliberately scattered. Andrew Parker Bowles had supervised the tunnel construction. That much was clear. But why? The official explanation was emergency evacuation. But Morrison's notes suggested otherwise. Circled dates. Question marks. Arrows connecting events. One note stood out. August 1996, tunnel completed. Same week, Diana confronts Charles about divorce settlement. Coincidence? Another note, dated later. June 1997, Diana announces relationship with Dodi Fade. APB receives £50,000 payment from unknown source. Security consultation? Or silence money? Marcus read it 3 times. £50,000. The same amount Tom mentioned. 3 weeks before Diana died. His phone alarm buzzed. 11:45 p.m. Time to go. Marcus dressed in dark clothes. No uniform tonight. Nothing that would identify him as royal security. He pocketed a small camera. A digital recorder. The phone number Morrison had given him. If something went wrong tonight, he wanted evidence to survive him. The castle was quiet. Night shift guards patrolled on predictable routes. Marcus had memorized them years ago. Knew exactly where the cameras were. Where the blind spots existed, he moved through shadows. Descended into the basement. Reached the East Wing storage area. The wall looked normal. Undisturbed. But when Marcus pressed on the specific stones Tom had removed, they shifted. Loose mortar crumbling away, the entrance was still there. Still accessible, Tom had kept his word. Marcus slipped through. Replaced the stones behind him. Turned on his flashlight. The tunnel stretched ahead, empty. Silent. He walked deeper. Reached the steel door. The keypad glowed green dot before he could knock. The door opened. Tom stood there. He looked exhausted. Dark circles under his eyes. Hair disheveled, like he hadn't slept in days. "You came," Tom said. "I said I would." Tom stepped aside. Let Marcus enter. The room beyond was larger than Marcus expected. 20 feet square. Fluorescent lights hummed overhead, tables covered with documents, computers, recording equipment, and photographs. Hundreds of them. Covering every available surface, Marcus walked slowly through the space, his eyes cataloging everything. Diana at public events. Diana with Dodi. Diana arguing with paparazzi. Diana looking scared, looking angry, looking hunted. "This was my father's war room," Tom said quietly. "His insurance policy." He documented everything. Every conversation, every payment, every person involved. Marcus picked up a photograph. Diana in Paris. The day before she died, she looked tired, nervous. "Tell me everything," Marcus said. "From the beginning." Tom sat down heavily in a chair, gestured to the computers. "After my father died, my mother asked me to clean out his apartment. She couldn't face it herself. Too painful. So I went alone." He paused, gathered himself. "I found a key. Hidden in a book. Old key. Safety deposit box. There was a number on the tag. A bank in London I'd never heard of. You went there." "I went there," Tom confirmed. The box was registered under a fake name, but the death certificate matched. They gave me access. What was inside? Tom laughed bitterly. Pandora's box. Literally. Everything you see here. Plus recordings. Hours of them. Conversations my father recorded secretly over 20 years. He stood, walked to one of the computers, pulled up a file. "This one is from August 1997, 3 weeks before Diana died." He pressed play. A phone conversation. Male voices. One Marcus didn't recognize. The other, Marcus's skin went cold. He knew that voice. Everyone in Britain knew that voice. A senior royal. One of the most powerful people in the country. "The situation is becoming untenable," the royal's voice said. Clipped, annoyed. "She's making a mockery of everything. The Fade relationship. The interviews. The charity work that makes us look callous. It needs to stop. What are you proposing?" The other voice, unfamiliar. American accent, maybe? "I'm proposing we remind her of the consequences of her actions." Remind her how? A pause. Long enough that Marcus thought the recording had ended. Then, however it needs to be done. The line went dead. Tom stopped the playback. Marcus couldn't breathe. That can't be what it sounds like." "There's more," Tom said. He pulled up another file. Same day. Different conversation. My father's speaking to someone. Listen. Click. Another recording. Andrew Parker Bowles' voice. Strained. Worried. I don't like this. What you're asking. It crosses a line. You've crossed lines before. It's a different voice. British. Upper class. Cold. You'll cross this one too. Unless you want certain information about your own activities to become public. That's blackmail. It's business. You do this, the slate is clean. You refuse, we have a problem. A big problem, and the girl, Diana, is no longer your concern. All we need from you is the logistics, the route, the timing. Your contacts in Paris can handle the rest. Jesus Christ, think of it as a favor. For people who've been very generous to you over the years, silence. Then Andrew's voice, barely a whisper. God forgive me. The recording ended. Marcus sat down. His legs wouldn't hold him. There are 12 more conversations like that, Tom said. His voice hollow. All in the 3 weeks before Paris. All discussing the problem. All making arrangements. Who were the other voices? I don't know all of them yet. I've identified 3, all connected to the palace, all with access to resources, money, people, influence. Tom pulled out a folder, handed it to Marcus. Inside were dossiers, photographs, names, financial records. 3 men. 1, a senior royal advisor. 1, a security consultant. 1, a media executive, all with connections to the royal family, all with reasons to want Diana gone. My father coordinated the logistics, Tom said, but he didn't act alone. He couldn't have. This was bigger than him. Bigger than any one person? Marcus looked up. You're saying this was a conspiracy? An actual conspiracy to murder the Princess of Wales? I'm saying that's what the evidence suggests, Tom corrected. But I'm not a detective. I'm not a journalist. I'm just a chef who found his dead father's secrets and doesn't know what to do with them. You go to the police? Obviously. Tom laughed. Sharp, bitter, and tell them what? That I have recordings of conversations that may or may not be about Diana? That my father, who's conveniently dead, claimed to be involved in a conspiracy? They'll laugh me out of the building. Then the press will destroy my mother, Tom interrupted. Before any of this is verified, before anyone knows the truth, they'll run headlines. Camilla's family tied to Diana murder. It doesn't matter if she's innocent. The association alone will ruin her. Marcus stood. Paced the small room. So what's your plan? Keep it hidden forever? My plan, Tom said slowly, was to find out the truth. The whole truth. To identify everyone involved, to understand exactly what happened and why, and then he trailed off. And then what? Tom's eyes met his. I don't know. That's why I need your help. My help? Your security. You have access to palace records I can't reach. You can verify things. Cross-reference information. You can help me separate fact from paranoia. Asterisk, Marcus shook his head. This is insane. If even half of this is true, if it's true, then my mother has been living next to murderers for 30 years. Eating dinner with them. Laughing with them. Trusting them. Tom's voice cracked. She deserves to know. But she also deserves to be protected from the fallout. And I can't do both without help. Marcus thought about Morrison. About his warning. About choosing truth over safety. Show me everything, Marcus said. Every recording. Every document. Every piece of evidence. I'll help you verify it. But if I find proof that anyone in the palace murdered Diana, then what? Tom challenged. You'll go public. Destroy the monarchy? Tear down an institution that's existed for 1,000 years? If that's what justice requires, Marcus said, yes. Tom studied him for a long moment, then nodded. Fair enough. But first, you need to hear the last recording. The one my father made the day before he died. Pulled up a final file. This one he didn't hide. He left it in plain sight, like he wanted someone to find it. Tom pressed play. Andrew Parker Bowles' voice filled the room, slurred with alcohol, trembling with emotion. If you're listening to this, I'm probably dead. Good. I deserve to be. For what I did, for what I helped them do. Sound like sobbing. Diana was innocent. She was just a girl who wanted to be loved. And we killed her for it. We killed her because she was inconvenient. Because she wouldn't play the game. Because she dared to be human. The sobbing grew louder. I'm sorry. God, I'm so sorry. I hope wherever you are, Diana, you found peace. Because I never will. Pause. Then, almost a whisper, Camilla doesn't know. She can never know. It would destroy her. She loved Charles with everything she had. If she knew what he did, what we all did. The recording cut off abruptly. Tom stopped the playback. Tears streaked his face. What he did, Tom repeated. Charles, my stepfather. The man my mother loved. Marcus's world spun. You think Charles ordered Diana's death? I think, Tom said carefully, that everyone involved is dead now, except the people who gave the orders. And I need to know who they are before I decide what to do with this information. He looked at Marcus. So I'm asking you, will you help me find the truth, even if it destroys everything? Marcus looked at the photographs, the recordings, the evidence of something monstrous. He thought about Diana, about William and Harry, about a secret that had festered for 27 years. Yes, he said, I'll help you, even if it means bringing down the monarchy. Marcus nodded. Especially then.
Out.
It didn't reach his eyes. Then we better get to work. Because I have a feeling we're running out of time. As if on cue, Marcus's phone buzzed. A text from Morrison. They know. Get out now, * Marcus showed Tom the message. Tom's face went white. How did they? Doesn't matter, Marcus cut him off. We need to move. Now. He started grabbing documents, files, USB drives. Anything small enough to carry. Tom joined him, stuffing materials into a backpack. Can't take it all, Tom said. There's too much. The recordings, the photographs of the conversations, the payment records. Those are priority. He worked frantically, shoving evidence into bags. Marcus's hands shook as he disconnected external hard drives. A sound echoed through the tunnel. Distant but unmistakable footsteps. Multiple people. Moving fast. The other entrance, Tom whispered urgently. There's another way out. What other entrance? Tom ran to the back wall, pressed his hand against what looked like solid stone. A section swung inward. A hidden door. My father was paranoid. He built redundancies into everything. They squeezed through. The passage beyond was narrower, older. This wasn't modern construction. This was ancient tunnel work. Medieval, maybe. Behind them, voices echoed. Getting closer. Seal it. Someone shouted, Don't let anything out. Tom pushed the hidden door shut. It clicked into place. From this side, there was no handle. No way to open it. They were committed now. Marcus pulled out his phone. No signal. They were too deep underground. Where does this lead? He asked. Don't know, Tom admitted. I found it yesterday, but didn't have time to explore. Great. Fleeing into unknown tunnels with no map, no signal, and people hunting them. They ran. The tunnel twisted, descended. The stone walls closed in. Marcus had to turn sideways in places to squeeze through. His flashlight beam caught something ahead. A branch. The tunnel split into 3 directions. Which way? Tom asked. Marcus listened. Tried to orient himself. They'd been heading east. Maybe. Underground direction was impossible to gauge. He closed his eyes. Tried to picture the castle layout. The basement. The sub-basement. The ancient foundation left, he said. The left tunnel slopes up. We need to get closer to the surface. They took the left path. Behind them, a grinding sound. Stone on stone. Someone had found the hidden door. They were coming. Marcus and Tom ran faster. The ceiling lowered. Marcus had to crouch, then crawl. His knees scraped against rough stone. The backpack caught on protrusions. "Keep moving," Tom urged from behind. The tunnel opened up ahead. Marcus tumbled out into a larger chamber. Tom rolled out beside him. They were in a cavern. Natural, not man-made. Stalactites hung from the ceiling. Water dripped somewhere in the darkness. 3 tunnels branched off from here, each one identical, each one disappearing into blackness. "We're lost," Tom said. "We're completely lost." Marcus pulled out his phone. Still no signal, but he opened the compass app. At least they could try to maintain direction. "This way," he said, pointing to the middle tunnel. "Northeast. That should take us under the gardens. There's a maintenance shed there. If we can reach it." A light flickered behind them. Flashlight beams dancing across the cavern walls. Their pursuers had caught up. "Go." Marcus shoved Tom toward the middle tunnel. "I'll slow them down." "Are you insane? They'll kill you. They'll kill us both if we don't split up. Go, get the evidence to safety." Tom hesitated, then grabbed Marcus's arm. "The journalist. Morrison's contact. Her name is Sarah Brennan. If I don't make it, you'll make it," Marcus said firmly. "Now go." Tom disappeared into the tunnel. Marcus turned to face the approaching lights. He grabbed a loose rock from the cavern floor. Not much of a weapon, but better than nothing. 3 figures emerged from the tunnel they'd just fled. All dressed in black. All carrying more than flashlights. Marcus saw the glint of metal. Guns. His stomach dropped. Royal security didn't carry guns inside the castle, which meant these weren't royal security. "Marcus Chen," one of them said, voice distorted by a mask. "You've stumbled into something you shouldn't have." "Who are you?" Marcus demanded. "Does it matter?" The figure raised his weapon. "Drop whatever you're carrying. Step away from the tunnels."
Ouch.
Marcus didn't move. "If you're going to shoot me, you'll have to explain the body. Hard to cover up a royal guard getting murdered in the palace basement. Accidents happen. Cave-ins. Structural collapses. Very tragic. Very unavoidable." The other 2 figures spread out, flanking him, cutting off escape routes. Marcus calculated. 3 armed men. 1 rock. Narrow tunnels that echoed every sound. Not good odds. "What's on those hard drives?" the leader asked. "What did Tom show you?" "Nothing," Marcus lied. "Just old family photos. His father's personal files. Don't insult my intelligence. We've been monitoring this tunnel for days. We know what's down here. We know what Andrew Parker Bowles kept hidden. Days. They'd known for days. Which meant Morrison's warning had come too late. They'd already been watching, waiting. So why wait until now?" Marcus asked, stalling, trying to think. "Because we needed to see who else knew. Who else Tom might have told. Congratulations. You were the only one stupid enough to come down here." The leader stepped closer, gun leveled at Marcus's chest. "Last chance. Give us the drives. Tell us where Tom is going. Do that, and you walk out of here alive. And if I don't, then you become a tragic headline. Young guard. Promising career. Died exploring unauthorized areas of the castle. His family will get a nice pension. A letter from the Queen. A hero's funeral." Marcus's mind raced. Tom had the most important evidence. The recordings. The payment records. If Marcus died here, if he bought Tom enough time to escape, it might be worth it. "I don't know where he went," Marcus said. "We split up." "Wrong answer?" The gun came up. Marcus threw the rock. Not at the gunman. At the flashlight. It struck true. The flashlight exploded, plunged the cavern into darkness. Marcus dove left. Heard the gun discharge, deafeningly loud in the enclosed space. The bullet sparked off stone where he'd been standing. He rolled. Found the tunnel entrance by feel. Scrambled into it. More shots. Muzzle flash illuminating the cavern in strobing bursts. Bullets ricocheting off walls. Marcus crawled frantically. The tunnel was too narrow for him to run. He had to squeeze. Had to drag himself forward using elbows and knees. Behind him, Cursing, scrambling, they were following, but they were bigger, broader. The tunnel that was tight for Marcus was nearly impossible for them. He heard one of them get stuck. Heard cursing. A struggle. Good, every second counted. The tunnel angled up. Marcus's hands found ladder rungs. Old iron, rusted but solid. He climbed. Up and up, his shoulders screaming, his lungs burning. Above him a grate locked. He pushed against it. It didn't budge. Panic surged. He was trapped. Stuck in a vertical shaft with armed men below. He pushed harder. Threw his weight against it. The lock gave way. Ancient metal fracturing under pressure. The grate flew open. Marcus hauled himself out. He was in the gardens. Night air. Stars above. The castle looming in the distance. Behind him, shouts echoed from the tunnel. Getting closer, Marcus ran. He crossed the gardens. Vaulted a fence. Reached the maintenance shed Tom had mentioned. The door was unlocked. He burst inside. Found Tom hunched over a computer. Uploading files. What are you doing? Marcus gasped. We need to go. I'm backing everything up, Tom said, without looking away from the screen. Cloud storage. Multiple servers. If something happens to us, the evidence survives. They're right behind me. 10 more seconds. 9, 8. Marcus looked out the window. Saw figures emerging from the garden. 3 of them. Spreading out. Searching. 7. 6. One of them spotted the shed. Pointed. Started running toward it. 5, 4. Marcus grabbed Tom's arm. We're out of time. 3, 2. Tom hit enter. Done. They burst out the back door just as the front door crashed open. Marcus and Tom ran across the service road, reached the perimeter wall. There was a delivery gate, usually locked. Tom pulled out a key. Worked here as a teenager. Summer job. Never returned the key. The gate swung open. They slipped through. Found themselves on a public street. London stretching out before them. Normal people walking dogs. Cars driving past. A world that had no idea what was happening inside the castle walls. We need to get to Sarah Brennan, Tom said. The journalist. She's our only hope now. Marcus pulled out his phone. Signal restored. 3 missed calls from Morrison. He called back. Morrison answered on the first ring. Chen, thank God. I thought, I'm okay. Tom's with me. We have the evidence. Pause. Then Morrison's voice strange. Hollow. I'm sorry, Marcus. Sorry for what? They have my family. My wife. My grandchildren. They said, if I didn't give you up. Marcus's blood ran cold. Morrison? I'm sorry, Morrison said again. But you need to run. They're tracking your phone. They know exactly where you are. The line went dead. Marcus looked at Tom, then at his phone. Then at the street behind them. 3 black cars turned the corner, heading straight for them. No sirens, no lights. Just 3 cars full of people who were very motivated to silence them permanently. Run, Marcus said. They ran, asterisk, they ducked into an alley. Tom threw his phone into a dumpster. Marcus did the same. They're tracking us, Marcus panted. We need to disappear where? They have resources, money, people everywhere, Marcus thought frantically. Then remembered something Morrison had said. About the journalist. About someone who'd been investigating royal conspiracies for years. Sarah Brennan. Do you know where she is? She has an office in Southwark. But we can't just walk there. They'll have eyes on every route out of this area. Sound of car doors slamming, voices getting closer. They needed a miracle. Tom grabbed Marcus's sleeve. The tube. We take the underground. Lose them in the crowds. They ran. 3 blocks to the nearest station. Down the stairs. Through the turnstiles. Marcus used cash. No credit cards. Nothing traceable. The platform was moderately crowded. Late-night travelers heading home. A few tourists. Some drunk university students. Marcus and Tom blended in. kept their heads down, tried to look normal. The train arrived. They got on, separated. Tom at one end of the car, Marcus at the other. Like strangers, through the window, Marcus saw them. The men in black, scanning the platform, looking for their targets. The doors closed. The train pulled away. They'd made it. For now, Marcus watched Tom across the car, saw him breathing heavily. Trying to calm down, they rode for 3 stops, then got off, switched lines, then switched again. 40 minutes of paranoid route changing, backtracking, making sure no one was following. Finally, they emerged in Souther. A quieter neighborhood, industrial buildings, small offices, a few late-night restaurants. Tom led them to a nondescript building. 3rd floor. A door with frosted glass reading, Sprennan, Investigative Research. It was after 2 a.m. The office was dark. Tom knocked anyway. Nothing. He knocked harder, eh? Light flickered on inside. Footsteps. The door cracked open. A chain lock held it. A woman's face appeared. Mid-50s. Sharp eyes. Suspicious. We're closed. Come back during business hours, Sarah Brennan. Tom asked. Who's asking? Tom Parker Bowles. This is Marcus Chen. Morrison sent us. The name Morrison made her pause. She studied them both carefully. Morrison is dying, she said. Cancer. He told me he might send someone. But that was months ago. I assumed he'd changed his mind. He didn't change his mind, Marcus said. He just ran out of time. And so have we. Street, you're being followed? We were. We think we lost them, you think, or you know. We can't be sure, Tom admitted. Sarah hesitated, then unlatched the chain. Get inside. Quickly. They entered. She locked the door behind them, drew the blinds, led them into a back office. The room was exactly what Marcus expected. Walls covered with photographs, newspaper clippings, red string connecting people and events. A conspiracy theorist's dream, or a serious investigator's nightmare. Show me what you have, Sarah said. And this better be good. I don't risk my safety for nothing. Tom pulled out the hard drives, the USB sticks, the documents they'd managed to grab. He told her everything. About his father, about the tunnel, about the recordings. Sarah listened without interrupting. Her face remained neutral, professional. When Tom finished, she sat back in her chair. Do you have any idea what you're holding? She asked quietly. Evidence of a conspiracy to murder Diana, Tom said. Evidence of treason, Sarah corrected. If what you say is true, if those recordings are real, if the people involved are who you think they are, this isn't just about Diana. This is about the integrity of the entire monarchy. She stood, paced the room. I've spent a decade researching Diana's death. I've interviewed witnesses, analyzed forensics, followed money trails, and I've never found concrete proof of conspiracy, just circumstantial evidence. Questions without answers. She turned to Tom. But if these recordings say what you claim, this changes everything. So you'll help us? Marcus asked. I'll verify the evidence, Sarah said. Then we'll decide what to do with it. But understand something. If this goes public, people will die. Reputations will be destroyed. The monarchy might not survive. Maybe it shouldn't, Tom said quietly. If it was built on murder, Sarah smiled grimly. Spoken like someone who's never studied history, every monarchy is built on murder. Every government. Every institution of power. The question isn't whether they have blood on their hands. It's whether we can live with the truth. She sat down at her computer, started loading the files from Tom's hard drives.
Oh, this'll take hours, she said.
Authentication, cross-referencing, verifying voices. I'll need to contact audio forensics experts, people I trust. How long? Marcus asked. 2 days, maybe 3. But you can't stay here. If they tracked you to Souther, they'll search every building. You need to hide. Where? Sarah wrote an address on a piece of paper. Safe house. I've used it before for sources. It's off the grid. No registered owner, cash utilities. You'll be safe there while I work. Tom took the address. What if they find you? What if they come after you? They've been after me for years, Sarah said. I'm used to it. Besides, everything you gave me is already uploading to encrypted servers. Kill me, and it goes public automatically. That's my insurance. Smart, ruthless. Exactly what they needed. Marcus and Tom left through the back entrance, made their way to the safe house. A small flat above a grocery store, dingy, cold, but invisible. They collapsed inside, exhausted, terrified, alive. What have we done? Tom whispered. If this comes out, my mother, William, Harry, the whole family. We've done what's right, Marcus said. But he didn't sound convinced. They waited. 2 days passed like years. No phones, no internet, no contact with the outside world. Just waiting while Sarah verified their evidence. On the third day, Sarah appeared at the door. Her face was pale, drawn. It's real, she said without preamble. All of it. The voices are authenticated. The payment records match. The timeline aligns perfectly.
Yes.
Tom's hands shook. So what now? Sarah pulled out a folder. Now I tell you what I found, and you decide if you can live with it.
8.
She opened the folder. Inside were transcripts, analysis, conclusions. Your father coordinated logistics, Sarah said. But he was following orders. Orders from 3 people. A senior royal advisor named Sir Michael Hastings, a security consultant named James Rothwell, and... She paused. And, Marcus prompted. Prince Philip, Sarah said quietly. The Queen's late husband. He's on the recordings. Not ordering the hit directly, but approving it, authorizing the payment, providing resources. Tom looked like he might be sick. Prince Philip wanted Diana dead. He whispered. Prince Philip wanted the monarchy protected, Sarah corrected. Diana had become a liability. Her relationship with Dodi Fade, her interviews criticizing the family, her humanitarian work that made them look heartless. She was damaging the institution. She pulled out another document. There's also evidence suggesting Charles knew. Not the details. But he knew something was being planned, and he didn't stop it. Tom stood abruptly. No, my mother loved Charles. If he was involved, your mother knew nothing, Sarah said firmly. I found evidence of that too. They kept her completely in the dark, probably to protect her, or to use her as a shield if things went wrong. She looked at both of them. So here's your choice. We go public. We release everything. The recordings, the payments, the whole sordid truth. We destroy the monarchy. We give Diana justice. And we ruin countless innocent people in the process. Or, Marcus asked. Or we use it as leverage, Sarah said. We approach certain people. We tell them what we know. We demand changes, reforms. We make them clean house, quietly, without tearing down the entire institution. That's blackmail, Tom said. That's politics, Sarah corrected. Justice doesn't always look like courtrooms and headlines. Sometimes it looks like powerful people being forced to do the right thing, for the wrong reasons. Marcus thought about William and Harry, about 2 men who'd spent their lives wondering if their mothers' death was really an accident. They deserve to know, he said. Whatever we decide, William and Harry deserve to know the truth. Sarah nodded. Agreed. But how we tell them matters. Do we tell them privately? Give them the evidence and let them decide? Or do we hold a press conference and let them find out with the rest of the world? Tom looked at the folder, at the proof of his stepfather's involvement in murder, at the evidence that would destroy his mother's memory of the man she loved. I need to talk to Camilla first, he said. She deserves to know before anyone else. Before William, before the world. She deserves the truth from me. Not from a headline. It's dangerous, Sarah warned. If you tell her, she might try to protect Charles's legacy. She might try to stop us. She might, Tom agreed. But she's my mother, and I won't destroy her world without giving her a chance to prepare for it. He looked at Marcus. Will you come with me? As a witness, to verify that I told the truth. Marcus wanted to say no, wanted to walk away from this nightmare, go back to his simple life as a royal guard. But he'd come too far, learned too much. I'll come, he said. 3 hours later, they stood outside Camilla's private residence. Tom knocked. A butler answered. Looked surprised to see Tom at this hour. Is my mother awake? Tom asked. She's in the library. Shall I know? I'll announce myself. They entered, walked through quiet hallways, reached the library. Camilla sat reading. She looked up, smiled at her son, then saw his face. The smile faded. Tom. What's wrong? Tom sat down across from her. Marcus remained standing near the door. Ma'am, Tom said gently, I need to tell you something. About Dad, about Charles, about Diana. Camilla's face went very still. What about them? The truth, Tom said. All of it. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But you need to hear this. He told her everything. Camilla listened without speaking, without moving, her face betraying nothing. When Tom finished, silence filled the library. Then Camilla stood, walked to the window, looked out at the gardens. I always wondered, she said softly. Charles was different after Paris. Haunted. I thought it was grief. But it was guilt, wasn't it? Ma'am, he never told me, she continued. In all our years together, through everything, he never said a word. He let me believe it was an accident. He let me grieve with him. He let me comfort him. She turned. Tears streaked her face. He used me as cover, as an alibi, as a shield, and I was too in love to see it. Tom moved to her, tried to embrace her. She pulled away. What are you going to do with this information? She asked. I don't know yet, Tom admitted. I wanted to tell you first, to give you a choice. We could go public, or we could use it privately. Force changes. Protect you, Camilla laughed. Bitter and broken. Protect me. Tom, I've spent 30 years being hated for loving a man who was complicit in murder. How do you protect me from that? By keeping it quiet? No, Camilla interrupted. No more quiet. No more secrets. No more protecting monsters because they wear crowns. She looked at Marcus. You're the guard, the honest one. What would you do? Marcus met her gaze. I'd tell the truth. All of it. Let the consequences fall where they may. Camilla nodded slowly. Then that's what we'll do. We'll tell William and Harry first. In private. Give them time to process it. Then we go public. All of it. Ma'am, your reputation is already ruined, she said. Has been for decades. At least now people will know I wasn't part of it. That I was as deceived as everyone else. She smiled sadly. Besides, some things are more important than reputation. Like justice. Like truth. Like making sure my husband's sins don't die with him. So they did it. They told William and Harry. In a private room, with the evidence laid out before them, the princes listened, their faces unreadable. When it ended, William stood, walked out without a word. Harry stayed. He looked at the recordings, at his father's voice authorizing Diana's death. I knew, Harry said quietly, not consciously. But some part of me always knew it wasn't an accident. He looked at Tom. Thank you for having the courage to tell us. 2 weeks later, Sarah Brennan held a press conference. She released everything. The recordings, the payments, the conspiracy. The world exploded. The monarchy survived, barely, through reforms, apologies, promises of transparency. But it would never be the same. Marcus resigned from royal security, moved to Scotland, tried to find peace in quiet places. Tom moved to France, opened a restaurant, tried to build a life away from palaces and secrets. Camilla remained, dignified, honest, fighting for Diana's legacy in a way no one expected. And somewhere, in the darkness beneath Windsor Castle, the tunnel remained. Empty now, but forever marking the place where truth finally emerged from shadow, where justice, however imperfect, finally found its voice. Where a guard and a chef decided that some secrets are too heavy to carry, even for a crown.